Oh! Hello everyone. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, no matter where you are in time and space. In this update, we're going to be taking a couple of parts to the machine shop so they can get started on our engine now that the holiday season's over. All of my Black Friday shopping money was spent on new pistons all the way from the UK. New old stock is very hard to find, especially for these vintage models. Our new pistons are 40 over. I have new rod bearings, main bearings, cam bearings, courtesy of IPD. The rod bearings and the main bearings will be 20 thousandths inch undersize. And the only thing that hasn't arrived yet is our 40 over piston rings. Those are kind of somewhat hard to find, but not terribly difficult. So, another thing we're going to cover in this update is our exhaust build. We've got a bunch of pipe ready to get put together as soon as the car is out. We are this many weeks away from Christmas, and this many weeks away from me freaking out. Not really. I'm staying calm. Doing my best.
Hey everybody, and Merry Christmas. Well, it's not quite Christmas yet. It's November 13th, you caught me. But it does feel like Christmas when we've got these boxes of goodies waiting for us to put on the Amazon. This is my $6 hood wrap modification. Get that at Savers. Protects my newly painted 240, which you may have spotted in one of the previous videos, changing suddenly. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, please do so. Today we're gonna go over what's in the goodie boxes. We're gonna, talk a little bit about this exhaust, all of our new parts there, and as you can see, we've got some wheel boxes over here, some from those bullet rims that I picked up. Not really sure if I'm expecting anything else for Christmas now, since I already have all these new parts, but maybe Santa will be good to me this year. Okay, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Let's make it quick. Oil pressure, oil pump, reinforcing spring and sleeve. Good stuff, kind of a must-have. Here's some fender cushions, stickers, because you know how I love stickers. Headlight seal, tail handle seal. These are kind of hard to find screws for the fenders. I've got so many. If you guys need any new fender screws, got more than I can deal with, so you can have some. Headlamp seals. This is an IPD banner. Some window scrapers. Trunk seal. Steering coupler made out of polyurethane. These are for the turn signal buckets. Here's a new oil plug. Here's some trim piece. Door pillar seal, set of 4. Rear hood seal. A new gasket for the fuel cap. Here's the front seal hood. Here's an ignition barrel with 2 keys. Kind of a good thing to have. Brake shoe hardware. Brake shoe cylinders. There are many different sizes to get. Alright. New brake shoes. If you've ever left the parking brake on while towing a car, you could use new brake shoes. Don't ask me how I know. Some lubricant. Here's our bottom end seal kit. Part of it. There's our top end seal kit and the bottom end seal kit. A brand new goodie, the C-Cam. Very good streetable power. New head bolts. Here, those snap easy. The sundries kit. It's got all of our oil pan bolts and grease plugs. This here is new lifters. They're the new lifters and push rods with the very Handy dandy ultra slick assembly engine lube. Here's a fiber cam gear. Those are always something you want to look into replacing if it's worn out at all. Apparently I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spark plugs. That should last me a long time. Cool. Brake light switch. This goes in the bucket. In this bucket we've got new valve springs and the little adjuster balls. Let's see if I can get a better one. There we go. Apparently those break kind of easy after a couple of decades. Alright. That's a seal for the speedometer cable. Cam retaining plate, very important. Another fender cushion. New keys for the doors, yes. Another rear brake cylinder. Cam bearing set. Ah yes. You gotta have those pressed in by a shop. Ah, this is another cool piece right here, a new shifter boot. Look at that, beautiful. And it comes with insulation. How about it? I think that covers just about everything from these boxes. You can see about 4 or 5 boxes of parts. All these are going to keep me pretty busy in December. Oh, how could I forget? That's a new shelf mat for the rear as well. Two things that I skipped over when going through all the parts were these new exhaust pieces that I picked up. This just came in tonight. They both did actually. This is a ball flange. Basically works like you see it. And it actually creates a pretty nice seal around here. This is a common style that was used on a lot of the turbo flanges. So if you look at a 740 turbo, you'll see that the downpipe flange is flared like this. And this is what the turbo hot side flange is like. Here's the funny thing though. If you buy these together, $100. Separate, less than $10 a piece. How about that? It pays to shop around. Here's the other thing. This is the DEI titanium exhaust wrap. Unlike traditional fiberglass wrap, this is made from crushed lava rock, if you can believe it. This is more pliable of a product than the fiberglass. You needed to wet that one prior to installation. This one actually even does better with heat. And it's got a pretty sweet carbon fiber look to it. A lot of people think, you know, it's unnecessary, especially in just like a regular car that's not a racing performance vehicle, but my argument is that I didn't want to get the headers ceramic coated since they were quite old anyways, and this will help with a lot of the heat either way, and it's a lot cheaper. I paid for this roll is about $45 online, so it's actually kind of worth it. You're going to use stainless steel ties. They look just like zip ties. And for the heat wrap, I think IPD's catalog said that they like to use the oven paint the best since it held up to a lot of that heat, like a wood burning stove or like a cast iron oven. So I'm going to be painting those headers so that we don't facilitate any progression of rust that may exist already on the surface. They look pretty good so far, but just want to make sure that we won't have any rust underneath these. Also, the titanium wrap is a little more chemical resistant than the fiberglass wrap.
I haven't heard anything from the paint shop yet. I feel like at this point I'm just ranting to you. You don't need to hear that.
Get it? Hot? Here's our setup of exhaust parts. Everything's here for a mock-up of what our system's going to look like once it's all in place. We have, first and foremost, a flex coupler made of stainless steel, followed by the Cherry Bomb turbo muffler. I did a lot of shopping around, a lot of YouTube video watching to see which muffler has the sound qualities that I like, particularly no drone at highway speeds and not too loud for street/neighborhood. I discovered that the Cherry Bomb turbo might be the muffler for me. Considering that it's only $20, I don't have much to lose here. Here's our basic setup, how it's going to look, with a little bit of a hump that goes over the rear axle and out the back. Now just for curiosity's sake, I put both Cherry Bombs, the straight glass pack with the turbo muffler, and we're going to see how that sounds first with open downpipe. I'm going to record that, and then I'm going to record it with the one muffler and then with the two mufflers. Here's the case against flat flange exhaust pieces, is that after a while the flange starts to leak and the condensation that builds around an exhaust system will eventually rust it out pretty bad, ruining any sort of seal that it could give you. So that ball flange will really come in handy.
You can see here how the stock exhaust pales in comparison to those new exhaust headers that we picked up. They're actually still in pretty good shape considering their age, or maybe 10-20 years old. They're not so bad.
New connecting rod bearings, 20 thousandths over. New main bearings, 20 thousandths over. These are for the big thrust bearing, which is why they have a wall on them, like such. New cam bearings. Very interesting how they're stepped. Big, medium, small, because the cam needs to fit all the way through the end. 40 thousandths over. These are so cool. Brand new Volvo Mahle pistons, M-A-H-L-E, or Mahle, or Machle. Maybe I shouldn't leave that in, but I think I will, because I think that you need to see that side of me. Yeah, very cool. Like I said, piston rings are still coming in. And this is the one and only, well, all four really came in set, but it is an egg roll. No. Keto. No. Wrist pin. That was the word I was looking for. So, let's take them all up to the shop. Two things we almost forgot. The cam. And the children's, in case the shop can't find any sort of how to reassemble engine. That sounds ridiculous. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. It's the same in theory. There's no way I'm going to get that into a cup holder. I might just make a square. But you know, Volvos are square. You'd think it would fit inside of this Volvo. Sometimes I insist on flapping my hands about when I talk. It's okay. So you can see why we have three different size cam bearings. Big, medium, and small. Bit of a problem. If anyone can help me. Well, for my last one, where it was welded, I need a nut that will fit this, and I don't know the dimensions. If anyone could please help me determine what kind of nut, the dimensions, you know, the thread pitch and size, like M14 by 1.25, for example, which is a very small nut. Need a nut. If you've got one, or if you know the dimensions, if you have a link for an online store, if you, what am I forgetting? If you advise against a certain one that is too cheap, you know, I don't want something that will break off or loosen up over time. I don't really have no idea what they look like, because a welded thing is the only thing I've really had. Am I even in the frame? It's recording. Good! Well. Ta-da! Let's go send this over then. Quite possibly my most caffeinated update. Do pardon the linguistics. Lack thereof. all of our snow is melted. It was very nice sweater weather for a while, but now the sun's back out and everything's good old high desert heat in December. Happy December. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Now would be a good time to tell me. Looking at getting a Subaru. Tired of getting stuck in this thing and those things. I'm not even going to try that one. Well, happy early Christmas from me. I don't need to be politically correct because this is my YouTube channel, so